Howdy ho, Andrew here. Welcome to the Onion Buns and welcome to another episode of React Friday. So, I'm kind of burned out from this week. The tragedy of the Charlie Kirk assassination. And that's pretty much eaten up my time for the last 2 days now. And I don't think there's really much else I can say about it. Like if a news story, like they catch the cowardly assassin, which they will, I have no doubt, they'll catch him. And as I said in my other video, they will interrogate him, very polite PC terminology. He will squeal, because like I said in my last video, it's like I've yet to see a left-winger. In my 59 years of life, I've yet to see a left-winger have that type of salt to stand up to that type of interrogation. So he will squeal. He will tell who hired him, because the more I research, the more I am 100% sure this was a contract killing. And, I'm not even sure they found anti-fascist, transgender stuff on the bullets. That kind of sounds like a false flag to me to misdirect, but we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. So for this final video, though, I don't really want to talk about Charlie anymore. What else? There's nothing left to say. What happened is an absolute travesty. It's unthinkable. It's undefendable. And that's the word this video is about. What happened to him is undefendable. And unfortunately, the left, in all their glee and blood sport, forgot that little point. And they've shown their true selves over the last 24, 48 hours. And that's kind of what I want to talk about. I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to show you my evidence. And then I'm going to run a video by Asmongold, who did the unthinkable. Thank you, Asmon. You went where no human should ever have to go. Blue sky. And I thank you for saving my soul that I didn't have to go there for this video. And yeah, Asmon did a great video, and I'm going to run his video. I'll add my commentary in. It's a React video, but I'll add my commentary in. And that will kind of sum up. And if you have any brain cells at all, you're not going to be able to argue that the left they're disgusting. The modern day left is just freaking disgusting. They are evil. No other word for it. They are evil. And I'm not saying their politics are evil. I'm saying the people that make up the modern day left, they are evil. They are disgusting. They are unthinkable, uncaring, unfeeling, evil, nothing else. And on that note, I just want to announce I got my first death threat today. I put out a video on the Charlie Kirk assassination, and I'll link it at the end of the video, and I'll put the link in the description, and you can go watch the video. It's 40 minutes, and to be honest, it's pretty tame compared to some of the videos out there talking about this on, the people that are cheering this and everything. And my video is honestly pretty tame, and yet had a lefty come in and got my first death threat. Don't know who this was. I mean, he's hiding behind anonymity online, and I wish I had saved it, but I find the people defending the assassination and cheering it so fucking distasteful that it was just natural reaction to ban and delete. And as soon as I hit the delete, I went, shit. I should have saved it and used it in my video. Oh well, what can you do? Normally, I get these negative comments every once in a while, but it's usually gaming, because I do a Sunday gaming series where I talk about old MMORPGs that I've alpha tested and I've beta tested. And sure enough, I'll get some asshats in saying, you don't know what you're talking about, and blah, 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 blah. And I'll just go, hey, thanks for commenting. You have a great day now. Because the truth is, on YouTube doesn't differentiate between positive or negative feedback. Any feedback helps you with the algorithm. So I'm not going to delete those because, yeah, okay, you can call me every name in the book you want, or, tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, or blah, 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 blah. I don't care because you're helping me. But on this topic, I find it just so fucking distasteful that these people are cheering and celebrating and defending murder. That is just my natural reaction to block and delete. And yeah, so that's what happened there. But yeah, I can say I got my first death threat. I guess I'm in a special class now. The lunatic left-wingers with no active brain cells want me dead. Okay. Like, we all know they're not going to do it. Like, I'm not Charlie Kirk. I'm not out in a public place, prime for some sniper. So these cowards, they're not going to do it. I've had a number of run-ins with these cowards. Just the other day in Costco, actually. I'm in Costco and I picked up 4 items and I pushed the cart in, and I won't use self-serve. If they want me to use self-serve, they got to give me 10% discount or employee discount. Otherwise, I'm going to a till. So I pull up and I'm like, okay, this got a long line here. So I go to the next line and I go around this family, the man, wife in her whole Muslim getup, and son. And I go around him. I go into the other line and I'm standing there for 30 seconds or so. And I hear the man go, this line's taking too long. And he pushes his cart right in front of me, like I didn't exist, like I was invisible. No pardon me, no excuse me, nothing. He just pushed over to the next line right in front of me. So I look at him and I go, well, that was fucking rude. And 4 people in the other line that saw this happen, they start cheering that I said this. And he looks at me, and he's got his tough guy face on. He's like, did you say something? Oh, yeah, I said you're a fucking rude asshole. Well, he piped right down, and the guy, I'm in the next lane now because I went to the lane he was in, and a guy behind me, he's like, I'm so glad you said that. Somebody had to say that to this guy. So clearly I wasn't the only one having an issue with him, but, I find with these types, they're cowards. You stand up to them, they back down. And I didn't hear pip from this guy again. And the icing on the cake was I got through the teller faster than he did in my line. So moving lines actually slowed him down. I felt good about that. I did. Karma. So anyway, yeah, it's, they're not going to say anything. So I got no worries there. But yeah, it's just online. It's been absolutely disgusting the last, not 36 hours, say 36 hours. It's just been absolutely disgusting. These left-wingers, they're cheering, they're celebrating, they're mocking, they're insulting, they're threatening. They really, really think the rules don't apply to them. And I'm not a violent person, but they're in for a really big wake-up call. At a certain point, the more aggressive moderates and right-wingers, and even more aggressive left-wingers, like center left to your right. That's the cutoff point, because according to these modern left-wingers, center-left people are alt-right Trump lovers too. So, from center-left all the way to the right, the more there's some aggressive people in there, and eventually they're going to get fed up. And when that happens, these left-wingers, they have absolutely no footing to stand on. They are going to get destroyed. So this video is going to be about them. I keep running into people, left-wingers, that are like, source. Or another one going around today is, I didn't see any bad behaving. Show me, show me, show me. And you'll tell them where it is, but they won't look, because it's not about seeing the evidence. This is how they deflect from their bad behavior. So I'm going to put the bad behavior in full display in this video. Then I'm going to run Asmongold's video, and he's going to show you the blue sky contingent. And if you still think there's any brain cells in the left, well, all I can say is here's your sign. Look it up. All right. So right off the bat, we have Matthew Dowd has been fired from MSNBC after blaming Charlie Kirk's assassination on Charlie himself. Pathetic take, pathetic career, good riddance. Like, come on. All right, here we got a video. And this is at a vigil for Charlie Kirk. This was 15 hours ago from when I'm showing you this. This was at a vigil, and these two asshats crashed the vigil. And you got to hear what they're saying.
Do you support his death?
I do.
You support his death?
Fuck Charlie Kirk.
You support Charlie Kirk being killed?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so first off, that's so distasteful, especially at a vigil where people are remembering Charlie Kirk and honoring Charlie Kirk. But look at this guy. If this guy ever in his life got into a confrontation, you know he would be on the crown and he would be bawling his face off. He'd be screaming, "Oh, no, no, please don't hurt me." Like, you can tell that just by looking at him. He is an absolute hipster piece of crap.
On the day he died, you're here at a vigil for Charlie Kirk and you support his death.
Do you support a Nazi?
No, I don't support a Nazi. Charlie Kirk wasn't a Nazi. You support his shooter?
Yep, sure do.
He supports the shooter. Think about that, people. This is your modern day left.
You support Charlie Kirk's shooter?
Sure do. He does all a favor.
Would you shoot somebody like Charlie Kirk?
I would have killed him myself.
You would have killed him yourself? Okay. Do you have a job here in Seattle?
Nope. I take that for
Well, he won't anymore once this goes viral. This video is all over the place. This guy, well, first off, I believe he is unemployed. Look at him. He's unemployed. He probably lives in his parents' basement. His mommy bought him the phone. His sister/girlfriend dressed him. And he's out pretending to be a tough guy because he thinks nobody's going to touch him. Somebody's going to touch this guy very soon. I promise you that. Again, I'm not a violent person, but it's getting to a crescendo where these types, people are fed up. All right, so here we have some transgender demon celebrating the murder of Charlie is the epitome of evil that he fought against. I can't stand these people. And I'm not talking about transgender. These type of people. I don't care if they're gay, straight, whatever. I can't stand these people. And look at the name, Salem Strikes. Kind of says it all, doesn't it?
Okay, this person is a transgender. Let's see what they have to say.
Let me be your Paul Revere today, because guess who just found out? CK got AK'd. And he's gone. I hope you're seeing this. I hope your ghost decides to try to come and haunt me, because I'll beat your...
Pause. The transgender movement is evil, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, this...
Yeah, like, first off, that guy has never beat anything except his own meat. And if he ever got in a real fight, he'd be like the last guy on the ground crying, "Oh, no more, please. Oh, the humanity." But he's online, so he's a tough guy now. He's a tough guy now. Or tough girl. Tough it. Oh. Anyway, I really can't tell you how much I detest these type of people. And again, I'm not talking about the transgender. I'm not talking about the gay. I'm talking about the attitude, the behavior. So let's get into some images. First image, I think this is an important message before I start showing any of these people. So it's a book, Dr. Tracy, Eat, Pray, Faith, and the title, Only Demons Celebrate Murder. Absolutely correct. The only time murder should be celebrated is, in my opinion anyway, and you're free to disagree with me, but in my opinion, if it's a terrorist, like I have absolutely no problem with terrorists being ended. None whatsoever. And criminals. Like, if you take a life, it should be a life for a life. And I'm talking murder, like not accidental homicide or something like that. I'm talking murder, like this was. This was intentional, first-degree murder. Should be a life for a life. All right, so how unhinged have the left been? Well, right off the bat, we have this poor girl, Ukrainian girl on the bus. She was murdered. She was murdered by a left-wing criminal. Republican Randy Fine is calling for judges to face consequences if violent repeat offenders they release go on to commit new crimes. That's an absolutely great thing, but it doesn't address the problem of the modern day left wing. This girl should be alive today. She fled the war in Ukraine with her family. She got a job in the States. She did everything right. And she got murdered on a train by a left-wing lunatic. Okay, next up, we got off of Libs of TikTok, Amanda Dodson, a teacher at the school district of Lancaster in Pennsylvania, made a post online accusing Charlie Kirk of inciting hate and demanding that he receive no empathy. This person teaches your children. What's she teaching your children? Amanda Dobson, emotional support teacher at School District of Lancaster. Does she sound like she has her emotions in check, that she could support anyone? Doesn't to me. Next one is we have a image of, I guess this is, I'm not sure if this was Twitter or, no, it looks like Instagram because it's follow. Oh no, this looks like it's all over the place actually. A lot of blue sky. Big surprise there. So we have Izzy in the water. Do Matt Walsh next. Talking about who to murder next. Okay, koala. Now somebody get Matt Walsh next. Another one. Do Matt Walsh next. That seems to be that whole line one. Then the next line is Chaya Rad. I don't even know who that is next. Like all these people in this image, you can look at this image. I have it up on the screen. They are left-wingers. A lot of them are on Blue Sky. That's what I've heard is Blue Sky is so disgusting the last 2 days. Well, Blue Sky's disgusting all the time, and I'm happy it's going broke. But they are so happy that Charlie Kirk was killed. Now they're asking for other people to be killed. And they're asking openly because Blue Sky won't do dick on unless you disagree with them. If you disagree with them, you'll get banned off Blue Sky. But apparently this is the type of content that Blue Sky wants to promote. Left-wing lunacy. We got one here. Charlie Kirk is dead. Yay! One less misogynist piece of shit on the planet. Do Trump next. Not sorry. Fuck Charlie Kirk. Karma got Charlie Kirk. Classy. Really classy. At this point, I'm saying the modern day left wing is a mental disease. It really is. If you are a modern day left winger, you have a mental disease and you should seek psychiatric help. Okay, next one. Oh, this one's ironic. Mostly peaceful Latinas. Miami anesthetologist, I hate that word, Dr. Tatiana N. Atkins, who works at Larkin Community Hospital, says she is glad Charlie Kirk got himself shot. Got himself shot. Like there was no sniper or nothing. Charlie Kirk did it to himself. Nice picture, by the way. This person has actually been fired. But Dr. Ruth Marshall is kicking against the pricks. I don't even know what that means. This is off of X. Shooting is honestly too good for so many of you fascist cunts. This is a doctor. She has been fired from her job. So there's that, but a doctor. Like, are you seeing a pattern here? All of these people seem to be either unemployed hipsters, transgender, educators, or doctors. That's the grouping of the modern day left. Hey, next one we have Jeffrey Schroeder from the city of Toledo, Fire and Rescue Department, Bureau of Professional Standards. So this guy is judging other people. Thoughts and prayers totally preventable and avoidable, if not for the policies and beliefs of people like Charlie Kirk and his uneducated, hateful ilk. Wish the guy was a better shot. Charlie Kirk offers nothing but hate and division to society. No one would miss him, and discourse would be better without him. Bureau of Professional Standards, Toledo Fire and Rescue Department. Let that sink in, people. He has been reported. There's no review, but I'm pretty sure he's losing his job too. Like, most of these people that are dumb enough to post under their own name, they're going to get fired over this shit. A lot have. Oh, this was classless. Infuriating. Democrats shout down Republican Lauren Boebert on House floor when she requests a moment of prayer for Charlie Kirk. Like, they couldn't even give a moment of silence. That's your modern left. Oh, here's a great one. It's top picture is a convicted felon drug addict. Media treats him as a saint. Charlie Kirk talks to college kids. His death is mocked by media outlets. And not only was this guy treated like a saint, the media went after the police for apparently misgendering him during the arrest. But the media didn't say boo about the person he murdered. I'm going to keep saying it. The modern day left. It is a social disease. All right, here we got a football guy. I forget what team he was. I think it was the Panthers. But anyway, he got fired. He made a bunch of really tasteless tweets. You can see his picture. He got fired. A CHCH news producer, that's out of Toronto, Canada, decided to comment on a thoughtful post regarding Charlie Kirk on Facebook. This disgusting man writes, the irony of him dying at a gun is delicious. The post and his comments below. Thank you to the Grimsley Independent News for bringing this to our attention. CH producer Don Joasi shares highlights of interview with rock icon Burton Cummings. Okay, I don't know what that has to do with anything, but see if I can enlarge this so I can... Oh, there it is. The irony of him dying at the hands of a gun is delicious. There was a novel written a long time ago that said you reap what you sow. This is a news media producer. Next one is Assistant Dean of Students at MTSU has been fired effective immediately following vile comments celebrating Charlie's death. Her comment was, looks like Charlie spoke his fate into existence. Hate begets hate. Zero sympathy. Well, she's been fired. No sympathy for her either. Here in Edmonton, where I live, we have Adeline Belmont, a.k.a. Fox McCloud, a.k.a. Bunny Lebowski, is a drag artist in Edmonton and member of Queer History. Adeline was so high off the Charlie Kirk murder, she then called on Alberta Premier Daniel Smith to get assassinated next. Next image is this hideous looking, like, you know, I've seen some drag queens that actually look decent. This one's just fucking hideous. Like, ugh. This one gives drag queens a bad name. Anyway, Edmonton's drag queen calls for Smith's assassination. I'm pretty sure this is illegal. The news article was Charlie Kirk's shocking assassination on Wednesday has sparked major discourse on social media, and some individuals are posting equally shocking commentary about it. One drag artist in Edmonton has gone viral for celebrating the death of Kirk and calling for the assassination of Premier Daniel Smith. On her Instagram handle, she posted the story with a picture of a Tin Man in military uniform stating, "Death to the Tin Man. Charlie Kirk is no more. I hope he felt as terrified, and I hope the rest of his kind are just as scared. Miss Smith next, please and thank you." Another Canadian, a Canadian social worker this time in BC, Devin Cassidy, made another TikTok commentary video on Kirk's assassination in which she rejoiced Charlie Kirk got shot in the neck and he's dead. Finally, somebody with a gun, which is almost fucking everyone in the States, grew a pair and fucking went and shot somebody on the right side. I got a question for everybody watching. When's the last time you remember reading about a right-winger shooting a left-winger? The only one I can think of is that teenager who was being attacked by 5 lunatic left-wingers, and he was being beaten down by skateboards, and he pulled out a rifle and shot one of them in self-defense, and he was cleared of all charges because it was on video and it was self-defense. So what the hell is this moron talking about? I can't think of another one. Please put in the comments, tell me what right-winger has gone on a shooting rampage. The only ones I can think of have been left-wingers. Anyway, she finished, "Thank you. Can we keep this up, please?" she urged. She will be unemployed very quickly. Mark my words. Even in BC, that's not going to fly. Oh, we got some, I don't have the video for it, but we got some clearly drugged out homeless guy. Amazing how all these homeless people have phones and TikTok. Make these demons famous. We got Charlie in the neck. You had nothing to do with it. You were fucking drugged out or hiding somewhere, you. Oh, this one's great. We got a law professor who teaches criminal law at the University of Alberta named Florence Ashley reacted to an article remembering Kirk entitled "Charlie Kirk was practicing politics the right way." In response, she wrote on X, "You do not, in fact, ever have to hand it to the Nazis. I utterly do not care for any virtues that somebody may perceive in them." Ashley responded to the Western Standard stating, "The Post does not claim that he was a Nazi, so your questions are moot." Okay, people, you tell me. Her response was, "You do not, in fact, ever have to hand it to the Nazis. I utterly do not care for any virtues that somebody may perceive in them." And then when challenged, she said, "I didn't claim he was a Nazi." Florence Ashley, you are full of shit. And, well, no, that's University of Alberta, so she very well might keep her job, and that's even more terrifying than anything else. This one's interesting. It's Doug Ford, who is a liberal through and through, is actually commenting on a University of Toronto professor that shooting is too good for those she disagreed with are disgusting. Political professor Dawn Ruth Marshall's creepy comments after assassination of Charlie Kirk has people asking, is it safe for students or faculty who disagree with her? Doug Ford says, comments from a University of Toronto professor that shootings is too good for those she disagrees with are disgusting. I don't agree with Doug Ford on much, but I agree with him on this one. She should be losing her job, but that's Toronto, so like the University of Alberta, she probably will get to keep her job too. And again, that's terrifying. These are the people that are educating your children. Are these the lessons you want your children taught? To hate like this? Next one is the Daily Septic. The ghoulish lefties celebrating Charlie Kirk's murder. When a political figure is killed over his politics, you would expect people from all sides to come together in condemnation or in condemning the brutal murder and degeneration of civil discourse into violence that endangers all, but the fanatical left in the U.S. don't seem to see things that way. It's not just the U.S., it's Canada too. Here we got somebody named John Miller. I don't have any clue who he is. If you can't laugh at Charlie Kirk being allegedly shot, at an event in Utah, politics just isn't for you. Actually, I think I read somewhere that he is a journalist or something. But yeah, that's just... The assistant dean of students at MTSU has been fired effective immediately after she celebrated Charlie Kirk's passing away. There is more to come. Good riddance. And then, as I told you to start off with, MSNBC says Charlie Kirk has had it coming. You can't stop with these awful thoughts you have and then saying these awful words and then not expect awful actions to take place. This guy, Matthew Dowd, was fired. He's no longer with which shocks me. It's MSNBC. Like, you know, you think of all the crap Joy Reid ever said, and that hideously ugly one. I forget her name now, but like that's almost calm compared to the garbage they spewed daily. And he got fired, rightfully, but I'm still surprised by it. So, yeah, this is your modern day left. This is what they stand for, people. This is what they celebrate. All right, so let's get into Asmongold's video, and that'll be it for the video. So, all right, here we go.
Hi guys, it's me again, and today we're going to look at some of the interesting users on, you would never believe it, Blue Sky. That's right. And I don't know how this keeps happening, but yesterday, after Charlie Kirk was brutally murdered, he was shot in the throat, bled out on stage in front of everybody, including his own family and his children. The number of people in the games industry...
Okay, I should qualify that. First off, thank you, Asmon. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you see this, thank you. You went to Blue Sky so that I don't have to, and you will forever have my appreciation for that. But Asmon, his video is mostly about game developers on Blue Sky reacting badly. Like, I just read a bunch of people, not game developers. He's going to talk about game developer because if you're not a gamer, the lunatic left wing, radical extremist lunatic left wing they've been seeping into the gaming industry. They've been destroying titles for their woke. It's really disgusting, and I don't want to go too much into it. But this is what he's talking about, is he went into the game developers to see what they were saying.
Who decided to go on to social media, particularly Blue Sky. A lot of these people, you have to understand that many of these people have already been run off of Twitter because there's a level of discourse and negativity that they can't really deal with. So the only place that they can really exist is on effectively a reservation like Blue Sky, where their opinions are protected and they're allowed to be vitriolic and nobody's allowed to tell them that they're wrong. Well, that's why we're making this video. We're going to be looking at some of the different people that, after the death of Charlie Kirk, decided to, and I'm not really going to be going through, everybody is going to draw the line at a different place. Here's where I draw the line. I personally have a big problem with people that are celebrating him being killed.
Absolutely, 100% agree with Asmon. I've said that in this video. I've said it in my other videos. If you are celebrating the death of anyone, or the murder, I should say, of anyone, you are an absolute piece of crap. I don't care if you're right wing or left wing. The only time I'm in favor of murder is if you're dealing with a terrorist or like first degree murderer. Again, life for a life, eye for an eye. But otherwise, I'm not in favor of assassinations and everything. And yeah, so that's where I draw the line, and apparently Asmon and I share much of the same mindset on that.
I don't have a big deal if somebody says I don't like him or I never liked him or something like that. But for the people that are celebrating for him being killed, advocating for future violence, and saying that it's a good thing, I think that's what crosses the line for me. And I think that's what crosses the line for any reasonable, normal person. Yep. And so anyway, we're going to go through a number of people. And the first thing I wanted to start out with today is that maybe you guys remember this from the beginning of the year. It was a content content. It was a big content year, I would say that. And people might have forgotten, but there is a person who decided to advocate for killing your local MAGA. This was a Blizzard employee. And I want to say that after the video that I made on him and a lot of other people made on him, this person lost their job and effectively has ruined their life.
And that's awesome. You make comments like that, you deserve to lose your job and have your life ruined. You don't deserve to die, but you do deserve every social repercussion coming your way for being a fucking moron.
And I want nothing more than for the exact same thing to happen to the people in this video too. So I hope that after you guys see these individuals and you see what they're advocating for, you'll be able to go out and tell their employer, hey, you know what? Maybe I'm not comfortable funding a video game that is employing people that are advocating for the brutal murder of a person in front of their family. And it's absolutely insane, but it's also not surprising. And so anyway, we're going to go through some of these. Obviously, I put out a post about this before. This was yesterday, if you guys want to make a list. And this is something I'll go ahead and just contextualize it all. So there's several game developers that are liking posts that are people mocking Charlie Kirk's assassination. We'll look at pretty much who these people are. We'll start off with this. These are people, Dennis. Let's look at this. And this is also on...
These first ones he's talking about, they're just liking the posts. I don't pay much attention to people that like or dislike or anything on posts. So, I wouldn't even have noticed this. I noticed the comments. It's the comments that get under my skin. Asmon's talking about, it's classless. Laughing or liking or hard emote or anything about an assassination it's a real douchebag classless act, but it's not something I would normally follow. So
Blue Sky. I'm 6'5" and Vans, Blue Sky Social, sound effects associate at Bungie. So Bungie, the game that's trying to make Marathon, I guess they were too busy. Oh, he's doing sound effects, not visual effects. So maybe he actually has to do his job rather than just copy pasting something off of Twitter. But anyway, you've got somebody like this who's advocating for, and again, people might think that it's not a big deal. Oh, well, these people aren't making these statements themselves. These people aren't really saying anything that is that extreme. Here's the reason why it's a big problem. The reason why is because it creates an ecosystem and an environment where the actual extremism and the actual radical behavior is feeling comfortable. It feels comfortable in an environment where you have this blasé, passive acceptance of it, and you have people that are just basically complicit with it, but they're not openly saying it. They're just privately doing it, or they're just privately voicing their support as well. And
that makes sense. They're encouraging it, is what he's saying. They're encouraging bad behavior. You can't argue with his point there. He's correct. That's exactly what they're doing. They're acknowledging it and justifying it, even if they're not coming out and saying it.
And, well, I guess in this case, it's not private anymore, is it? And so anyway, we have a associate producer at Bungie who is liking and promoting tweets that are celebrating the death of a person being shot in the neck in front of their family and bleeding out profusely on the stage in front of millions of people. And so good job, Bungie. Really good winners you've got here. I can't wait to play Marathon. I thought that my expectations for the game couldn't be lower, but somehow Dennis has managed to fulfill, or exceed those expectations, you could say. I've got another one also. Kelly, senior producer at Sucker Punch, amateur cosplay armor, D&D enjoyer, source of corgi pics, they and she. Okay, so we have also, and you're going to see this word, this term, Sucker Punch, a number of times. We're not talking about the action, but we are talking about the company. This is the company that makes the game, or that is making the game Ghosts of Yotai. Ghosts of Yotai, and this is also important to keep in mind, is that the voice actress for the game, for the character itself, has gone multiple times on record making the most deranged, stupid comments like defunding the police. She's just your typical like libtard, insaniac, moron, retard, right? It's not really that complicated, but what it really indicates is that there's a culture in this company and there's a culture in this environment where this type of radical, violent behavior and language is normalized.
I completely don't understand this. I've noticed this in entertainment. Hollywood, and I've noticed, like, one of my favorite developers is CD Projekt Red. They made The Witcher 1, 2, and 3. They made Cyberpunk 2077. And I love those 4 games. I won't step foot on their forums anymore because of this mental disease mentality that he's talking about. And it seems to be running rampant in Hollywood and game developer studios. You know, this woke, I hate using that word, but that's what it is. It's woke, it's radical extremist left-wing brain damage, pushing agendas. Like, I have absolutely no interest in this game, Ghost. So it's no loss to me. But you would think these companies, after years, and it has been years now, decades really, of losing money on their AAA games, that they would do something so simple as put a muzzle on the political activism of their employees when they are representing the company. If you're working for the company and you're like, these people are advertising they work for the company, therefore everything they say is in reflection to the company. Come on, it's business 101. You know, there's such a thing as ethics contracts. And you just put it out there and you say, you will not engage in politics while you are employed here. What you say in the real world will have negative repercussions on our sales and our business. It's not rocket science, people, but for some reason, Hollywood and the gaming studios, they can't seem to get this around their minds, and they've been losing money big time.
You have multiple people at the company that are all saying these things, and we're going to get to the other ones too. This is another person here also that works at the company, and so you can see right here, obviously this is them retweeting or posting something that they did with the game, and then right after that, I hope the shooter's name is Mario so that Luigi knows his bro got his back. And I've been noticed that Twitter has noticed me from I've been told that Twitter has noticed me from across the room. Well, we certainly have. We absolutely have. And I think that these kinds of comments are absolutely disgusting. This is a person that works at a massive game company, and they're openly advocating for on public platforms and promoting and celebrating the murder of a random person.
Look up in the top corner. Friendship defeats fascism. What the fuck does shooting somebody with a bullet in a sniper rifle have to do with friendship? Like, maybe at 59 years old, I'm out of touch, but I don't recall assassination ever being connected to friendship. Like, they want to say Charlie was a fascist? Okay. What does shooting him have to do with friendship? That's murder. You are celebrating murder. You are creating a social environment to encourage murder. Last time I looked in Canada and the US, that was a crime. Maybe somebody should be contacting the Seattle police on this person.
This is disgusting. It's really disgusting. And in my opinion, I don't think that it should be tolerated. And that's the reason why I'm making this video. I think that everybody should try to message anybody that works at this company, anybody who, like any sort of PR, any management, anything like that. Let them know that you don't want to support a company that employs people that celebrate the murder of innocent people just for exchange changing ideas. This is a disgusting, disgusting thing to do. And you can see also, and I think this is a systemic problem at the company itself. Whenever
Agreed.
you have three people, the voice actress and then these two other people that are also doing this, I think that it's very obvious that this company has been infected with the same kind of moral rot that many other video game companies have unfortunately been affected by. And so,
Which is what I just said about entertainment and development studios. It has the moral. It's a good terminology you just used. Moral rot. That's what it is.
you have also Zibs, they, them, always a very good indicator of mental awareness and normality. Produced
Mental disease.
at Magic the Gathering. So this person works at, I'm assuming, Wizards of the Coast. And they're working at Magic the Gathering Arena. Previously also at, wow, what are the what are the odds of that? What a coincidence. And so what you've got here, this is, again, another person who is celebrating this type of violent behavior. And I think that, again, people need to make their voices known and make them heard that this is just simply not acceptable. This is not normal. This is not what average people want. We don't want to have people that are openly making statements and calls to violence like this.
It is not constructive. It serves no positive influence at all. It's the left loves to talk about the right creating division, intolerance, hate. That's what this does. What they are posting creates intolerance, division, hatred, and it does put people's lives at, it gets that mob mentality and puts people's lives at risk. That's really the end result of it. But the left, they're such hypocrites. They don't think the rules apply to them.
Or celebrating calls to violence or actual violence like this, making our products. It's disgusting. And I know that some people would maybe consider and say, well, this is something that could be a little bit like cancel culture. And I want to say that it absolutely is.
Nothing wrong with cancel culture when it's warranted. The problem with cancel culture is when it's a political or ideological agenda trying to censor something. This is calling people out on bad behavior. So if you want to call it cancel culture, I'm fine with that, as long as they get canceled. That's all I care about. These people made their own beds. Now they need to sleep in them.
100% is. The fact is that these are the same types of people who would lie about you and make up things about you and try to destroy your career and destroy your reputation for disagreeing with them on something political. But now whenever it's happening to them, they're the victims.
Not just political. I'll tell you a true story. I used to manage a third-party call center in Ontario. We did tech support for cable TV and internet, customer service, and tech support. And I was one of the supervisors there. And I had this, and I wrote the schedule and everything. And I had this one girl who filed multiple complaints at me. And they did an investigation just to make sure there was nothing. They looked at all my schedules. They said, we see nothing wrong with the schedules in there. What it turned out to be, she was a left-winger. Like Southern Ontario is packed with left-wingers, so you couldn't kick a stone without hitting. The closer you got to Toronto, the more likely you were hit a far left-winger. And what she was doing is she was trying to get me fired because I wouldn't give her weekends off. She was making up lies because I wouldn't give her weekends off. I gave her some weekends off. I made a very fair schedule. Like it was like 1 weekend on and then 2 weekends off and then 1 weekend on and two, and everybody had that schedule. It was very balanced. She wanted every weekend off and there was no lies. She would not. She went as far to accuse me of racism. There was one problem with her complaint. Who she said I was being racist about was one of my best friends. It was an Indian girl. And it's like, she created this horrific story about me and filed the complaints and everything, and we had the big meeting, which she didn't come into the meeting because, oh, it's too stressful for me. I'll have a panic attack. I can't face that type of criticism. So it was just me and Cheyenne, and Cheyenne's like, Andy's never been racist to me. If anything, he's uncomfortable when I make jokes about Indians. And the human resources are like, wait, what? Huh? What's going on here? It's like, yeah, I don't have a racist bone in my body. But this girl wanted weekends off, and she was willing to tell any lie, no matter how damaging, to get her way.
Well, if you want to be the victim, it's time to earn it. I think also, here's another thing, is that if you work at one of these companies and you have one of these individuals that works at your company, you do have a recourse to this, and that's calling and talking to HR. Because the fact is that HR does not operate in your best interest, and it doesn't operate in their best interest either. It operates in the best interest of the company. And when you have people that are making public statements and calls to violence and celebrating violence like that, they're creating a hostile and an unsafe work environment. And anybody who works in HR, anybody who works inside of any sort of corporate environment will tell you that that's something that just can't exist in a corporate environment. There's a reason why we have levels of decorum, and there are some levels of HR that make sense. And so if you work at one of these companies and you have a person like this doing it, make sure to talk to HR and let them know how uncomfortable you feel that there's a person who's working at your company who might want to advocate to have you killed because you disagree with them. Tell them that it makes you afraid to come into work.
It should make you afraid to go into work with those type of people. They're not mentally stable. So you don't know what they're going to do. If they are this mentally disturbed to celebrate, cheer, promote assassinations, how do you know you're safe if you disagree with them? Hell, how do you know you're safe if you put sugar in your coffee and they don't? We're not dealing with legitimate, functioning minds. There's a reason why I say the modern day left is a mental disease. These people should be seeking psychiatric help.
Tell them that, you don't know, maybe you're going to file a lawsuit, you feel unsafe at your workplace. And honestly, here's the important thing, you should feel unsafe, because these people would justify violence against anybody who disagrees with them. And just because you think you know them doesn't mean they wouldn't do the exact same thing to you.
Absolutely true. I've told this story before. Here in Edmonton is a very left-wing city. Very left-wing. And most of my friends are left-wing in the city. Or they were. I don't really have a lot of friends left because I just can't stomach it anymore. And this one guy, he's like, we're out for coffee, and this is 9 months ago or so. And he suffers the worst Trump derangement syndrome you've ever seen. And he's bitching about Trump and bitching about Trump and bitching about Trump. And he brings up fentanyl. And he starts going on the 1% bullshit story and trying to say Trump's lying about fentanyl. I'm like, come on. They just closed down a super lab in Falkland, BC. It's on the border of the United States and Canada. It is the world's largest fentanyl lab ever rated. And they just closed it down. Do you really think none of the fentanyl being made there was going to end up in the United States? And that's when he looks at me and goes, shush. Because this is what left-wingers do nowadays. Don't take my word for it. Watch. Whenever they don't like what you're saying, they'll demand sources. They'll pretend they didn't see something. Like I've lost my mind today with all the left-wingers that claim they haven't seen any of the stuff that I just showed you. I just showed you this. It's all on my Facebook, yet these people are saying, I haven't seen any. It's like selective hearing. Well, this is selective eyesight. So I got fed up this day and I said, just open up your frickin' phone and Google it. So he did it and comes up and I guess this story is real. I'm like, yeah, he spent 45 minutes after that scrolling through the most absurdly ridiculous alt-left extremist websites until he found that one site that said none of the drugs being made in Falkland, BC fentanyl superlab were going to go to the States. At which point he held up his phone. See, none of it was going to go to the States, so I was right. You can't argue with these people. It doesn't matter how much facts you have. They're not going to listen to facts and reality. Their world does not exist with facts and reality.
And this is them. This is the game that they're making right here. And you can see that they've made no statement about this. Now, let me ask you a very simple question. If these people made a degrading comment towards the trans community, for example, or towards the black community, for example, do you think Sucker Punch would have immediately fired them and made a statement? I think so, absolutely. But for some reason, these people are protected. And the reason why they're protected is because there's a lot of other ones at the company that feel the exact same way that they do.
I kind of disagree with that. I think they're protected because of the woke culture out there right now. And it's starting to go away, thank God. We're seeing, even here in Canada, we're seeing more and more pushback to it. But it's such a divisive and intolerant culture that they accept everything from each other.
That's the only logical reason that I have. And I think that at a certain point, Sony or somebody needs to step in. Whoever owns this company needs to step in and root out this disease before it kills the entire company. Because I do think that it will have a tremendously negative effect on the game. And you can see this right here. This is a post that Sony made. I guess it was a couple of days ago about Ghosts of Yotai, and you can see 1,000 comments on this. Your senior dev at Sucker Punch is a violent leftist, etc. And these are more comments here. Never let up the pressure. Never, ever, ever do that. Keep this pressure up until these people lose their jobs. And then after they lose their jobs, then take a break, relax, pat yourself on the back, wait for them to get another one, and then do it again.
Yep.
And that's the only way that you should treat these animals. And that's exactly what they are. You shouldn't view them as people. You shouldn't view them as a person with a political disagreement from you. These are violent animals that are trying to destroy the last good thing that we have, which is the open ideas of political discourse.
Absolutely. 1,000% agree with Asmon. They're not interested, well, like I just explained in my story, they're not interested in discourse. They're not interested in facts. They're not interested in reality. They are interested in pushing their ideology at any and all costs, no matter what damage it does.
And they're celebrating murdering people for doing it. And as soon as that starts happening, I don't want to know what's next. And the worst thing is that I already do. And I think you do too. And so anyway, we've got more of these here. His resignation is not enough for me. I hope he tanks the studio. And cowards keep quiet. The studio deserves to go under. I understand why a lot of people at these companies don't speak up, which is why I suggest that if you work at one of these companies, please make sure to go to HR. Go to HR and file these complaints legitimately with them. There are certain legal things that they have to do. And in some cases, these people will pretty much lose their job for sure if enough people are discussing it. And you have also some people make comments like this. It's wild how the woke right, like Asmongold, Grumsner, showing themselves to be what they hate, authoritarian freaks that want to censor and silence anybody they despise. Yeah, I do. I do.
I haven't heard Asmongold say he wants to shoot somebody in the neck for disagreeing with him. So is he the authoritarian freak, or are they?
I think that anybody who's advocating for killing people over speech like this should be censored. Absolutely. And this is just normal. Absolutely. I don't. There's this trick that a lot of people like this like to play, which is they try to use your own language and use your own morality against you. These people don't care about freedom of speech. They don't care about censorship. They don't care about any of that. They're simply trying to weaponize your values and use them against you in order for them to fulfill their own goals. And so every time that they try to make an appeal to your own values, you should ask yourself, do they hold these values? And if the answer is no, then you shouldn't take it seriously, because this person is simply trying to use your values to subvert you and take advantage of you and to push their own agenda and to hurt you.
Absolutely. 1,000. It's like the story I just told you about the super lab fentanyl. It's like he was using the fentanyl as an excuse to bash Trump, which I'm fine with. I don't like Trump, so bash away. I don't really care. But at least be factually correct on your complaints. That's where I draw the line. And he's bashing Trump with this, and I'm like, no, you're wrong. Here are the facts. And he looked it up. He saw the facts were correct, so he went out of his way to find alternative facts, not remotely truthful or realistic, so that it embraced his opinion. Because he didn't care about the facts. It was never about the facts. It was about his opinion and ideology.
And so never listen to this, never play into this game, never even acknowledge that there's any validity to it at all. These people don't care about freedom of speech. The only time they bring it up is whenever they're trying to co-opt the person who does care about freedom of speech and make that person act against their own best interest.
Yep.
But anyway, we've got also, this is me, Asmongold, put out the call for finding game devs mocking, and there's another one here. This is the voice actor for Diluc in Genshin Impact. I hope they receive the same care that the average American citizen would get in the same situation. Really? So they're just going to fall down and die. Somebody gets shot in the neck like that with their blood spurting out. There's no health care. You're not coming back from that, at least not anytime soon with the medical care that we have now. And so anyway, at least he came out, at least he goes out doing what he loved, being a bigot. Yeah, of course you have more comments like this, more people like this. And if shoot political if it's permanent, every post you make goes out to the public firehouse, captured by someone somewhere. The delete button doesn't do what you think it does. And so anyway, we have a lot of people obviously that are starting to say stuff, live by something. So she's obviously trying to make a statement of live by the sword, die by the sword. This is what, and I think that this is a very revealing statement, and I think this is going to be the last comment that I'm going to look at here, is that this statement's actually extremely revealing, because what it's saying is that from her perspective, living by the sword is the same as being killed. Speaking out and being able to, express your opinion on certain things should be met with the equivalence of deadly force. And that's really what these people want. They want to bully, push, fight, and if it comes down to it, kill you if you disagree with them. And that's why whenever somebody does do something insane like this, all of these people try to do mental gymnastics about why it was somehow justified, normalized, okay, acceptable, or something one way or another. The fact is that, live by the debate, die by a gunshot wound in the throat. No, I don't really think that makes a lot of sense, does it?
Yeah, there's no correlation there. It's mental disease. I'll say it again. Basically, you see somebody on Blue Sky, you can bet there's some form of mental disease. And we're seeing it in full glory right now.
But it doesn't sound as good as these, vapid, Yas Queen comments that people like her make on Blue Sky that have absolutely no pushback because they're on their own protected reservation away from anybody whose opinions could be different than their own.
And that's true. I've heard this for a long time now, that if you go on to Blue Sky and you disagree with one of these people, you will get banned. It doesn't matter if you're 1,000% correct and they are 1,000% wrong. If they are left wing and you are center left or to the right of that, you are at fault for everything and you will be banned. That is what Blue Sky is, a radical extremist left wing melting pot. That's what it is.
And that's the reason. And also, those are the only people that are still left on the platform. And soon, if with enough effort and enough work, we can have enough of these people removed from our media, and removed from our public discourse, and removed from any sort of positions of power where they can exercise their completely maladjusted, totally deranged viewpoints and worldview. And so, anyway, I want to let you know that this is definitely not the only amount of them that there are. I'm sure there's plenty more. And so if you want to express and show any of these other people, and you want to post one of their comments or anything like that, I would recommend anybody to go on over to Roach Ranch. This is a comment right here. Not comment, community right here that I made on Twitter. I do not really moderate this at all, and if you guys want to post the different public comments that are being made by these different developers or these different people that are working in media celebrating this, and collectively we can contact their employers, contact the people that are around them, and have them get fired from their job. And do not for even a second think that this is not fair. It is absolutely fair. These people have been doing it to people like me for the better part of 5 years, and it's time the shoe goes on the other foot. They're disgusting, they're celebrating violence, and there shouldn't be any space for this in any sort of a polite society. But yeah, anyway, crazy things going on over at Sucker Punch Productions. Really, really crazy stuff. With that many weirdos and freaks working at the company, I wonder what this game's going to be like.
Oh, I don't. This game's going to be absolute trash. I've heard Ryan Kimmel talk about this and other gaming YouTubers, that this game's been bogged down with the woke mentality. So I love the old Oriental. Like, Jade Empire is one of my favorite games, and I would love for that game to get remade, but I'm not going to order this. I'm not going to play this. It's just, yeah, you got to know what these companies stand for, and this company's just going to put out garbage.
I kind of don't want to know, but I kind of do. I think it'll be great content, but for all the wrong reasons. So anyway, guys, that's about all I've got for today. I did promise I would go through all of this, and we've gone through all of this. So thank you all very much. I really appreciate you watching, and feel free to join the Twitter community or to join Reddit or anywhere else. But Twitter community is the best and most uncensored place. Reddit is very censored for a number of reasons.
It is, but Reddit is Reddit is a pain. Like, when I made my YouTube channel, I wanted to get exposure on my videos, and I thought Reddit would be perfect, but they got so many bloody rules. It's aggravation. I finally found 2 sites to upload my gaming videos to so that I can get some extra footpath, but mostly they don't want you uploading anything. But you go in, like I said, with Edmonton, I go to the Edmonton Reddit and I can't read it. It's all left-wing garbage, and it's like, I could go in there and argue nonstop. I'm a moderate. I could go in there and argue, but why? Why would I want to waste my time doing that? So, yeah, I've never actually looked at Twitch, but I do plan on live streaming in 2026. So I might actually head over to Twitch and see what he's talking about.
That we have to, right? We just have to follow the Reddit rules. Twitter doesn't have those same rules. So if you guys want to talk about this issue more and bring up more people, feel free to go over to the Twitter community and we can mobilize from there. And hopefully we can put, everybody together and actually achieve something for a good cause. And don't ever think that this kind of stuff doesn't matter. This kind of stuff has led to a lot of people getting fired, which is the exact reason why I'm doing it. Hopefully it'll happen again. So anyway, guys, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you all as soon as I can. Peace.
All right, that was Asmongold, and talking about Blue Sky and gaming developers. As you see, this mental disease, it's widespread. It's affecting everything. So that's really about all I got for you. I want to end today on one thing. It's a post I saw on Facebook to Charlie Kirk's shooter. And it's very poignant, and I think it's the perfect way to end. To Charlie Kirk's shooter, you are a coward who failed a mission. You hid in the shadows, pulled a trigger, and ran. That's not justice, that's cowardice. You feared his words because they're stronger than your bullets. You didn't silence him. You proved his words have power. You didn't kill his voice. You amplified it. You didn't end the movement. You grew it. Charlie's fight is our fight, and we will never back down. And that's an excellent message. So that's my React video for this week. If you like the video, leave a like, a subscribe, and a share. I'm trying to grow my channel, and a like, a subscribe, and a share does me wonders, and I do appreciate it. It takes 1 second to subscribe, costs you absolutely nothing, helps me immensely. Just hit the subscribe button on the bottom of the screen. I always feel free to leave a comment. I encourage everybody to leave a comment. Not only does it get us interacting, but it really does help me with the YouTube algorithm and getting more eyes on my videos. And as always, pew, 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 and shit. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.